We've got your movie news for you now. Monsters University roared to #1 on the box office this long weekend.
Time for a celebration! We'll be ready!
The Disney and Pixar prequel to Monsters, Inc. made $46.1 million at the box office this weekend. The family flick was the front runner for a second week in a row.
And what about you with all your I'm out the game. What part of I'm out do you not understand? I'm out!
You want to go out?
Funny ladies Sandra Bullock and Melissa McCarthy brought the heat this weekend. The buddy cop comedy came in at #2, opening with $40 million.
I can't leave my family. Don't pretend your family is exempt. When we talk about...
And Paramount's zombie thriller World War Z came in at #3. The apocalyptic flick starring Brad Pitt took a bite out of the box office, making $29.8 million. And with more on our movies, Jason Gorber is a film critic for twitchfilm.com. He joins us now in studio. Jason, The Heat. I'm not sure if I've ever seen a buddy cop movie with 2 women before, but it did well, right?
Yeah, this is what they're certainly trying to sell it on. So Paul Feig, known to most people as a director of Melissa McCarthy's big breakout film, The Bridesmaids. It's a decent film. Paul Feig's also done a bunch of stuff like Arrested Development episodes. So you have a really clever guy who's taking the Lethal Weapon shtick and turning it on its head. You got 2 really strong actresses. Look, it didn't completely work for me, but I have to admit that I laughed throughout, and this is exactly the kind of thing that during this time period, people just go out to in droves. I'm not surprised at all that it's being very successful.
That's great.
But more importantly, it's actually rated R. It is a little bit filthy, and because of that, I'm actually weirdly pleased by it, because they didn't try to sort of dumb it down and make it more safe. They actually went for the laughs full on. You would think with 2 female leads, Hollywood would be actually reticent to have it, but the film has the appropriate level of crudeness needed for this kind of buddy cop film.
Oh, cool.
Because of that bonus.
Okay, cool. White House down. How do Fox and Tatum do as a team?
So here's a perfect example of the Hollywood system going the opposite way. You have Roland Emmerich, who's made Independence Day, made all these big blow-up movies. And there's another film earlier this year called Olympus Has Fallen, which was tremendous. It was Die Hard in the White House. It totally did the same shtick. This one, they tried to be safe. They actually made a PG-rated film, or at least not a restricted film. So the violence is dumbed down. The sort of the witty banter is dumbed down, sort of for a more adolescent audience. And because of that, it's actually really boring. Jimmy Fox is doing his best Obama shtick, but despite the fact that there's like these snippets of little things going on, Olympus Has Fallen is a masterpiece compared to this film. White House Down just absolutely left me flat.
Okay, I think we have a clip of this, though. Let's take a look.
Yeah, let's look at a clip anyway.
They must have spent a lot of money on that.
Yeah, you'd think, but honestly, it doesn't look very good, especially on the big screen. I really recommend people check out the other one. It's weird. Hollywood does this all the time. They make things in pairs. And rightly or wrongly, the one that came out first this year, which was unabashedly an R-rated film, absolutely got the spirit of the original Die Hard. This one just feels watered down.
Okay, Monsters U really smashed its way to the #1 spot this week, and what did you think?
Yeah, we didn't get a chance to speak about it last week because of all the craziness going on in Alberta. Our best thoughts to all the people who are suffering with that. But with Monsters University, I really loved it. I liked the first one a lot, and I thought that they did a really decent job in actually creating a sequel which totally works. It takes some of the good elements of what it's like to be slightly awkward in college and runs with it. The whole character building, the back and forth between the 2 leads is tremendous. And again, there's always been this sort of Big Lebowski shtick within Monsters University, which I really love. I love that Coen Brothers film. So when you have the big Wazowski, the little Wazowski, as it were, working against John Goodman, the dynamic really works well. And Pixar is absolutely hitting it out of the park in terms of how the film looks.
I was going to ask you that. Like, how does it look different stylistically and you know, in its animation?
So in terms of the animation, they've done, and I can get get really technical, but they've changed the entire way that their lighting system now works. So the shadows are so much richer. There's a real, I mean, it still looks cartoony because that's what they want to look at. There's a short that actually plays just before it, which I really love, called The Blue Umbrella. And it's this beautiful photorealistic animation they're doing. Pixar is absolutely at the forefront of when it's doing this kind of thing. And so when it comes to Monsters University, yeah, you don't need me to tell you it's going to be a big hit. It's already made a fortune.
Sure.
But I think it's an absolute in line. And people think that Pixar can't be as good as the original things as they churn them out. I think that people's expectations are really messed up with Pixar. On the one hand, some people think they can't do wrong. Other people are like, oh, it's not as good as it used to be. I think it's a perfectly great film. It is challenging enough. It's funny enough. And it's also good for the family.
You just don't want to talk about that zombie movie. We got 20 seconds.
World War Z, World War Z is okay. Look, Brad Pitt is great to watch. He totally changed the book, which really irritates a whole bunch of people. But I think it's totally fine. It's really interesting. Here's a guy who actually shot the entire ending, last 45 minutes, to make it slightly happier. And I don't even care.
10 seconds,
it's
Jason.
Totally fine. We'll absolutely run with it, I promise. People will go see it, enjoy. Very nice working with you this week.
Okay, thanks so much.
All the best.
Happy Canada Day.